have invited great ninjas here by the name of BDA students. So today we have BDA students. Hi, Yvonne, the CPA queen. Great. So today I have with us here the BDA students, and then that means that I should be able to just show them something here very, very important. Business data just a minute. So I want to show you something on your syllabus, that in your syllabus, they want us to teach you how to prepare what we call dashboards, summary boards, basically known as what here, pivot tables. It will take us just less than 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes and we shall be done. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are. And I'll be able to come back to data pivot tables in just a few minutes. So it's called practical paper number CA35, Business and Data Analytics. Prerequisites. To attempt this paper, a candidate shall be required to have passed all other examination papers within the CPA qualification. For you to do BDA, you must have passed the advanced level papers, those 4 mandatory, plus these optional papers, at least one optional paper, plus the 4 mandatory papers, and then you'll be able to straight away go to BDA and do it as the very last paper. It is called an exit paper. Candidates will be required to have core knowledge of quantitative techniques, financial accounting and reporting, and financial management. As you come, ladies and gentlemen, to this BDA basically we shall be solving those questions of WACACA. All right. Questions of break-even analysis. But now this time round using Excel. WACACA is WACC. Candidates are also required to have knowledge in their specialization areas of management accounting. Now, MA is normally mandatory nowadays. Audit, tax, and public financial management. The paper will be attempted over 3 hours in a controlled computerized environment, examination centers with computer laboratories. Learning outcomes. A candidate who passes this paper should be able to discuss fundamental aspects of big data. And data analytics using the cross-industry standard process for data mining. Applied data analytics in preparation of financial statements. You guys will be required here to know how to prepare, for example, group financial statements. All right. You'll be required here to know how to predict financials here, forecasting basically, do sensitivity analysis or scenario analysis, and presenting financial data and metrics using dashboards. Apply data analytics in financial management principles that include time value of money, all these financial management concepts, NPV, IRR. You'll be required to calculate those particular metrics using Excel. Apply data analytics in management accounting to estimate product costs, break-even analysis, etc. That already you have seen. Apply data analytics in auditing techniques, including key financial trends, fraud detection, test of controls, model reviews, and validation issues. Apply data analytics in estimating tax payable and in public sector financial management. This is what I want us to do today. I will only read part 1. They want us to introduce you guys to Excel. So utilizing the keyboard shortcuts in Excel, conducting data analysis using data tables, pivot tables, and other common functions, using advanced formulas and functions to enhance the functionality of financial models. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I want us straight away today to dive into these Excel shortcuts and pivot tables So, all right. So then first of all, I would want all of you to download this particular workbook that I've shared with you. So we have here RCM final workbook. Yeah, please download that. Please download that. Hi, Lucy, Alan, CPA, great. Good to see you. Please ensure that you have that document and open it. Open that document. And I'm happy to see that you guys are 59. That's a big number within the short time that I've called you. Hi, Pataki Evans. Good to meet you at this serious level. You know, in those other levels, I mean, we were not very serious. Here we shall be very serious. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, then I will be able to come and search here under my files. I'll be able to open this RCM rate. And then I will be able to ask all of you to search for, you know, it's called RCM Excel final workbook. This is our workbook, like the 200-page Excel book. Within it, we have our pages. These are our pages. We call them worksheets. So in these worksheets, I want you to search for pivot table 1. Pivot table 1. Search for pivot table 1. And I would want a good student who knows how to use ChatGPT. A good student who knows how to use ChatGPT, I want you to search for information, for definition of pivot table in Excel. Just go to ChatGPT and ask it in Excel, what is a pivot table? And give us the very best definition here. In Excel, what is a pivot table? Somebody should be able to do that for me. I'm so sure we have a Excel ChatGPT ninjas, yes, as I explained. But as those students, again, they're moving fast to give me definition of pivot tables from ChatGPT, I would want to ask for the very last time. All of us now, do we have access to this worksheet called the pivot table 1? Do we have access to this worksheet called the pivot table 1? Called the pivot table 1. All of us, please, if possible, oh, Julie doesn't have it, or Julie has it, eh? Okay. If possible, please share that. Share. Irene does not have it. Please share it in our WhatsApp group if you don't mind. I don't know whether Irene will be able to see it here. Let me just try. Irene. Yeah, Irene will be able to see it here. So Irene, I've been able to tag you somewhere there. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, or I have to keep on closing mine. No problem, I can just close it and then I open it very fast. I mean, we are here to serve you, you know. I can just open it. So I come here and then I say RCM. Yeah, now I hope it's coming there. I hope everybody will be able to see it. It's important that everybody gets access to this worksheet called pivot table 1, called pivot table 1. When I come here to my file, I'll be able to simply open mine. So I have the worksheet. And before I share, there is a good student who has done some pretty good job here. Very good student called Isabel. She's telling us here that a pivot table in Excel is a powerful feature used to summarize. It is used to summarize, analyze, and explore large sets of data. It allows you to transform data into meaningful information by sorting, grouping, and filtering based on different criteria. Here are the main things a pivot table can do for you. Summarize data, quickly calculate sums, averages, counts, and other aggregate metrics. Group filter, easily group rows or columns and filter. The most important thing is what she started with here. A pivot table in Excel is a powerful feature used to summarize, analyze. It is used to give us summaries. It is used in this case here to create what we call dashboards. Now, please listen, ladies and gentlemen, if I come here, now I hope all of us, we have access to this RCM Excel workbook. It's a book with various pages. To open pages, you simply come down near this arrow. And then, of course, you can now walk along with this arrow as you wish. The two arrows, you keep on moving back and forth. So I want you to open pivot table 1. How do we create a pivot table? Before you start creation of any pivot table, please listen and listen to me very well. We have this data. This data, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at it, it's not in form of a table. You know, this is not a table. First of all, I have to transform this data to a table. Is there somebody who can remind us the Excel shortcut for creating this set of data into a table? Anybody who is able to remember control something? How do we convert this to a table? How do we convert this to a table? How I wish I would get like 70 out of 66 responses. Yeah, thank you so much. There is a shortcut. You simply come and click anywhere inside. You click anywhere inside your set of data, and then you say control. You're holding on to control. You say you're holding on to control using your left hand fingers here. You're holding on to control, and then this right hand, you press T. So you say control T. And then when you say control T, there is a dialog box coming here, trying to do a dialogue with you. Where is the data set? Already this is highlighted for us. Do you have headers? Oh yes, these are the headers here. So don't untick here, don't uncheck here. You simply come and say, okay. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, once in this case here, the data that you have here becomes a table, you'll be able to see these filters here. These are called filters. All right. And then you'll be able to see something here called table design. It simply comes automatically. Table design. So the very first, of course, you can do these pivot tables without creation of this table. Of course, you can do that. But now I'm teaching you professionally here. It's always easier for you to work with tables, and I'll be able to explain. So once you do that, come again, click inside. Click inside now this table of yours. Once you click inside, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to come straight away in these tabs. Yeah. So in these tabs, I would want you to open what we call an insert tab. Not open, but click it. Click this. Click this. So you say insert. You say insert on the tab. So insert. What do you want to insert? You want to insert this pivot table. So insert a pivot table like that. When you say insert a pivot table, you are seeing what is happening, ladies and gentlemen, here. There is again a dialogue. Sorry, let me just see, because I can see there are many charts here. Sorry. My earphones. Somebody is saying that my earphones, my speaker is very good. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, somebody, Simbalu, has been able to advise there very well that, I mean, it could be you. It could be Joseph Akukuya. Get out and then you come back. Yeah. Thank you very much, Simbalu. I have a friend of mine who works for Deloitte, who is also called somebody Luo. And that person is not a Luo. He's not even a Kenyan. He's a Ghanaian. All right. So we have here new worksheet. You can see there is a dialogue table. Yours is simply to come and tell us, okay. You simply say, okay. Now, once you say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, what are you seeing now happening here? Once you say, okay, what are you seeing happening here? Great things are happening, ladies and gentlemen, here. So, but first of all, up to here, is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Anybody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Anybody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached, I would want to repeat like severally. Also known as baddest. Why? I doubt. I doubt. Okay. Okay. I doubt. So, ladies and gentlemen, it will be very, very important that we get this thing right. What have we done? What have we done? Just anywhere here. Anywhere here, click inside here. Tell us that you are inserting. What are you inserting? It's a pivot table you are inserting. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you are saying you want a new worksheet. You're simply telling us here what year. You're simply telling us okay like that. Once you tell us okay, you can see there is a canvas here. But of importance is that we have something on the left. Our column titles are here, all of them. So then you need to come and ask yourself, what is it that you really want to analyze? In most cases, like now this one, what I would want to analyze, what my bosses would ask me to do is to analyze the gross pay. I know the gross pay will be what is disturbing these people. So this gross pay is to be valued. This is money, gross pay is money. It's sum, you're going to sum this. So it is either I drag this down physically like that. How do I drag this down physically? Ladies and gentlemen, to drag it down, I'll simply come here and hold this. If I'm using a touchpad, I'm holding, you can see first of all, I came here, now I'm holding my touchpad down. And then using this other right hand side finger, I simply take this down. I'm now carrying it down like that. The other way, although we don't recommend this a lot, and I'll be able to explain why later, Excel has got a way of knowing what you want. For example, if you just come and check this inside without dragging anything, if you simply come and click this inside your gross pay, click inside, it will be able to take you to the values automatically. I mean, keep on trying somebody and check and tick there. So you tick, it goes back. If you say here, you tick like this, you can see gross pay has come here, sum of gross pay, and you can see now this in full is 84,306.61. So now I would want to pivot this. I would want to distribute this, for example, in terms of what tier departments, for example. So I can come and just click departments there. So when I click departments, what am I saying? Departments have gone to the rows. And I can see now department-wise, like the development employees are earning 21,000. Research employees are earning 20,000. Sales employees like that. Great stuff. So is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? I really doubt. I mean, today, I don't want after today. The students that are doing Excel with me, after today, I will not be talking about pivot tables again. Now you guys will become masters of these pivots. All right. Thank you so much. So then if I come back here, a pivot table is all about trying. So you'll post it like that through, in this case here, your board members, they'll tell you, fine, this is good. We are able to see this division-wise. But how about, for example, or rather department-wise, how about, for example, if you wanted to do it division? I'll tell them, no problem. I'll come and uncheck the department. Just uncheck it. Click on it. It disappears. And I tell them, if it's divisions you want, no problem. I'll come and do like that. Upate mwingine ako na kiwaru, ama ni yule mtu anapenda kamoshene namna hii, anataka kujua employees na majina zao wanalipwa namna gani. So if they want employees, the gross pay to be distributed per employee, no problem. I'll simply come, click there, and then I'll be able to look for employees. Let me check here. Yeah, you can see the employees. So I'll check on the employees. Now you can see everybody as per each employee. The names are there. So if they're looking for somebody specific, no problem. We'll simply come under this one until they get, until they get, in this case here, to see, for example, somebody wants to see Mutuse, how much is Mutuse earning, etc. So you show them like that. So you keep on pivoting. You keep on pivoting like that. It's a great tool for summarization. For summarization like that. It's a great tool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. If, for example, I come here, and this is something, if you do it, I'll be able to give you a present. The first person to do this, I'll be able to give them a present. Please come and uncheck employees. Let's, in this case here, this machine of mine is misbehaving. No worries. I'll simply be able to go back here to pivot. I redo this. So I will come, ladies and gentlemen, here. I say insert. What am I inserting? It's a pivot table that I'm inserting. This pop-up window, I do not read it myself because basically I want a new worksheet. Not unless you want to squeeze this pivot table in this small space here. Normally, accountants, we develop new worksheets. So come and say new worksheet like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to pivot the gross pay. So come and click like that. Look for, in this case here, the divisions. So divisions, I can see them here. And then after you have done this, somebody comes and tells you, hey, there is some data that you are not added. There is some data that you are not added to your original table. Remember your original table? Remember your original table? What was the name of your original table? Before I go to this original table, let's rename this sheet. This sheet is important you rename them. So in this case here, we are doing, I'm renaming this. Right click. You right click on this. So what am I doing? In this case here, I'm doing divisional gross pay. It's good to rename them gross pay. That looks nice. Divisional gross pay. And I told you how you can, these are divisions. I told you, but let me first of all not talk about that just to avoid confusing you. So then somebody comes and tells you, hey, there is something that you have not done. If you come and say control down arrow to go down here, there is one employee who was omitted. This employee was omitted. Let's add him. So for example, this employee could be GB. We have here 1, 2, 3. What is the name of this gentleman? This gentleman is Jose Camago. Yeah. Where does he come from? This guy comes from Nakuru. Now he's a pure Kenyan. He works for research department. Date of hire, I would want to work with this immediate date up here. So I would want to work with this date up here. So I can say control down, control D. Even this number of hours worked, control D. Even this one, when I put there control down, I'm simply copying what I have above. And then now everything will be okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once I've done this, how will I be able, look at the division, I'll be able to come back. The division of gross pay does not have Nakuru here. But because you had made this pivot table a real genuine table, what you'll need to do is to come and click here, and then you right click. When you right click, you say refresh. This thing has come here. Nakuru, we have somebody there, right? And this guy is earning 963.40. Let me read now the comments here to see whether we have questions here. Gina, how do I upgrade my Excel? Yeah, there is a gentleman by the name Maxwell. There is a gentleman by the name Maxwell. There is a gentleman by the name Maxwell. I think we have his number somewhere. Who sells this? Share contacts. I don't have his contacts, but somebody here should be able to help me. Maxwell is a very popular name at RCM. Yeah, somebody should be able to help me share Maxwell's number. He's able to assist you remotely, even if you are in Mombasa and he's wherever, he'll be able to assist you. He'll be able to assist you. What do you mean has refused? Jose Camago cannot be coming from Nakuru. All right, okay. All right. So then I need to repeat. Simba Luo wants me to repeat. So what I will do, you simply come under For example, come to a pivot table. Assuming you have got another employee called 123. So this employee, ladies and gentlemen, here, we have here the name of our employee, the name of our employee here. So the name of our employee, in this case, let's take a lady, we call this lady Celine Dion. All right. Then we have in this case here, Celine comes from Nanyuki. All right. Perhaps she's in sales department. So I want to bring this date down. You can copy your own date, but I mean, why should I keep on repeating? So I'll simply come and click here and say Control D. You know, I must know how to use Control Right, Control D. Those are very, very important. And then we have in this case here the hours. So Control D. We have in this case here our rate, Control D, like that. You can see also this guy because I've copied. Yeah. So then when I come to my divisional gross pay, if I want in this case Nanyuki now to appear here, yeah, then what I need to do is to come, ladies and gentlemen, and right click. You right click. Once you right click, you'll be able to see refresh. Refresh. It automatically refreshes to give you this new division like that. Any other question, please feel free to ask questions. Feel free to ask questions. Interesting, great. Yeah, somebody should be able to help me share Maxwell's number. This one, I don't have it. I'll have to save it. Next time, I'll have to save it because I normally get some. But in the class, I'm so sure I'll be able to get it from the previous BDA classes. All right. Now, as we go to sleep, remember these classes of Excel, they are quite interesting. And that is why I told you should never tell me. There is a gentleman who called me telling me that Mwalimu, now we need certificates. Why would you want to get a certificate of a course we haven't finished? I would want to even teach you Power BI, Power Query. You should never be in a hurry to get. It's the knowledge which is what here, which is important. And you can see every day I'm taking this thing up and up. Up and up. Like now today I've shown you how to add, because like you'll get yourself. But this is something that is very, very common. You have a table. All right, you have done in this case your pivot, and then there is some information that is to be added. Or come next month, you have hired new employees. Will you start again constructing your pivot table from scratch? No. So in that case here, we need to do what? To know how to refresh. But have we known that concept really, all of us? Have we known that concept, all of us, really? Yeah. Lucy, like now, Lucy Allen, she's been learning with me this Excel since 2023. And she can tell you that she's gaining every day. She's gaining every day. You see? Yeah. Every day. And she pays every time. Yeah. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. There is something here when we understand this now, we go all of us to sleep. As well, those people who don't take dinner. We go to sleep, all of us. Now, please allow me to do some abracadabra. Assuming I don't want this division to be here, what do I do if I want to remove this division? And tick, just click there, click there. Now, once you click here, the division has gone. Please take the employees. Take the employees. I want this salary to be in form of the employees. Even the new employees that you added, their names are here. Now this is really, 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 really important. I mean, you understand this, we simply disappear. So come here and click on what here? You click on this pivot analyze. When you click on this pivot analyze, there is a very important icon called fields. Very important icon called fields. Please click on the fields. You click pivot analyze on the tab area, and then on the ribbon, you look for fields. You click these fields. And then I want you to click the calculated field, assuming there is a field that you would want to calculate. Yeah, the name of the field, for example, I may be wanting, I'll come back to your charts, I'm seeing them. I may be wanting to get net pay. So I'll be able to type here net pay. Net pay. The formula. So formula, ladies and gentlemen, for example, my formula here could be maybe they want me to have net pay being equal to 30%. 30%, 30, or rather net pay to be 70%. 30% is tax, for example. So 70%, 70% of the gross pay. This one here, I click 70% of the gross pay, all right? And then I'll be able to either I click double, yeah, you can see gross pay. 70% is important to say times in between. Sorry, I forgot the times here. It's important to say times. So shift 8 to put the asterisk. So 70% times the gross pay. So if I'm now comfortable with my formula here, I'll come and say add. All right, I'll come and say add. When I say add, you can see now things here are disappearing. Now they're talking about modify and delete. So basically, it simply wants you to say okay. So when you say okay, you will see some of net pay coming here, and they have created a column for you for net pay. Net pay automatically. I mean, this is a very, very interesting thing. That you can add what we call calculated fields. Remember now, a calculated field does not exist in my pivot table, doesn't exist in my pivot table, but I've been able to add it on my, pivot table. It wasn't on the original. Allow me to repeat this. It's very easy, very easy. What I will do, ladies and gentlemen, remember when I said this field to be added, it is here. Net pay, it is here, right? So in this case here, I could just come and remove it, right? I could come and remove it. All right. So come in this case here to pivot analyze. You have the fields here, calculated field. So remember, already you have this net pay here. You have this net pay here. You remember you have the net pay. So this net pay, ladies and gentlemen, that you have here, if you remember very well, you have the net pay. All right, you had added it. Sorry, I can see there are comments here. Let me first of all go. How do I get the pivot table? Okay, I'll be able, okay, click on the insert table. Okay, therefore, yeah, itakuwa sawa. Great. Let me repeat. Okay, so allow me this. Allow me to just come here. This much, I don't know. Yeah, close. I should have closed. So allow me to come here and delete this. Okay. So now I hope my internet is unstable. I saw somewhere it telling me it's unstable. Now when I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want to do. Click anywhere inside. Click anywhere inside. Say insert. Insert pivot table. So when I say insert pivot table, here we are. Come and say okay. All right. So first of all, make your pivot table. So we wanted in this case here, the gross pay. And then of course, vis-a-vis what here, the employees. And then once I've done that, a boss from somewhere, a boss from hell, seeing that I'm in front of directors, many directors, he questions me and tells me that, hey, I want the net. And then, of course, I know the formula. For example, tax is 30%, so the net will be 70. So then I'll remember what Dr. Aura told me. Come and use what we call the calculated field. This one here. Pivot table analyze, field item, then calculated field. Then now here, you need to come straight, ladies and gentlemen, and then do what here? Give us the name of your calculated field. So call it net pay. Net pay. The formula come there. It is 0.7 or 70% times. There is a field which already we have, the gross pay. You simply double click. All right. Once you double click and it has been inserted, don't say insert again. If you say insert, if you try saying insert, you'll have gross pay, two of them. So don't say in this case here insert. Don't say that because already it's inserted. The only thing you need to do is to come and say okay. And once you say okay, ladies and gentlemen, then automatically, I don't know what happened here, automatically we should be able to get, in this case here, net pay. This machine of mine is becoming old. I need to do something. So let me repeat this calculated field. Let me repeat this calculated field. It's very, very interesting. So come here. So you're saying fields, calculated field. So we have here, I can see it never came. Yeah, it came here. It's already here. I don't know why it came here. It came here. It came here. But is there somebody whose net pay column has already been displayed? Is there somebody whose net pay column has been displayed? Net pay column has been displayed. Anybody whose net pay column has been displayed? Yeah, and they're dancing there. They're dancing there. Ataki has gotten it. All right. Isabel has gotten it. Igamba has gotten it. The net pay. That net pay is very, very important. Net pay. That formula, I'll be able to improve it further. I'll be able to improve it further. I'm using a machine which I'm not so much used to. Yeah. I'll be able to improve it much further later. But first of all, practice how to get this calculated pay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please. I promised and said that this session was to be very short, but there is something that you guys must. It's hanging, this thing. Oh, sorry, hanging. Okay, so come here. Yeah. So remember what we said. When you have this kind of a table, you don't even need to know how to come up with these pivot tables. No. Excel is very friendly. There is a shortcut to creating pivot tables. Is there anybody who is able to remember that shortcut to creating pivot tables? And those shortcuts, you must keep on writing them. Anybody who is able to remember the shortcuts to creating these pivot tables? Is there a shortcut? Is there a shortcut? Yes, Control Q. Control Q. The quick Control Q. Control Q. Like that. So you click anywhere inside and then you say Control Q. When you say Control Q, this kind of a thing comes up. Please go straight out to the table. Right? And then you can see in this case here, we have got many pivot tables. So you keep on clicking on one of them. Yeah. You can see like now this one here, not very, very good. Really not very, very good. Sum of our rate is not very, very good. So if I come back to my pivot table and I say here Control Q, very, very important, come to the tables. Don't click like what I did. Just put, you hover around. So like now you can see sum of gross pay. Yeah, this is very good. So I'll be able to come here and click on, okay, I can leave it a little bit, go to the third one. Sum of hours is also very good. I may want to know the sum of hours worked by employees in each department. All right. Count of employees, very good. Development has got 24 employees. These are very, very good dashboard. All right. So these are employees by departments. Then we have in this case here, this one here is asking me, do you want more? If you want more. So like now, for example, if it's employees by, I can talk over, for example, let me talk over, yeah, gross pay first. This is very, very important. And then I may want, for example, after saying gross pay, I may want hours be put by the side. The problem, you simply come and click on hours. If you click on hours, you'll be able to see hours here. You'll be able to see gross pay or chart. Oh, 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 my internet. Okay. So is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Anybody who has been able to reach? Yeah, I can see what KENY is telling me. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anybody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached really? I love Excel because Excel has really given me lots of exposure. If there is anything that assisted me in this career, it's knowing Excel. It's knowing Excel. Anybody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? So I would want to invite all of you, ladies and gentlemen, to come and join our BDA classes. Our BDA classes are one of the very best classes that we have. Yeah, our phone number is 0719 525 000, 0719 525 000. All right. BDA, we charge 9,000. The analysis document. Is it the analysis or something? Do you want this document or I can't get the analysis bit? Okay. The table analysis, no problem. So if I come, yeah. So if I come here, ladies and gentlemen, it's Control Q. You put your cursor here and then you say Control Q. All right. So don't go with the totals, come to the tables. All right. So these tables, ladies and gentlemen, now you can pick whichever. Lucy, you can pick whichever. So you hover your cursor around this. You see, like now, if it is lecturers at RCM, one lecturer is getting 2,000 an hour, another lecturer is getting 1,500. You see, getting the sum of those hour rates really does not make sense. That's irrelevant. So come and hover your cursor here. Cross pay is very good. If you feel this is what works for you best, simply come and double click or click just once. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very good. Very, very good. And we shall be taking this to another level. So for example, you may want to put this status in the filter. When you put the status in the filter, then you'll be able to see these status all here. So when you click here, you may want to know just salaries for full-time staff in those departments. Full-time, say okay. So you can see it is reducing. And now you can see there is a filter here. But these are things we shall continue knowing as we get along. How I wish you guys were practicing. Have you started practicing this concept that you're doing here with your workplace data? Net pay. The net pay. The net pay. What we shall do, because it's quite late for me where I am and I have to move a little bit. What we shall do, all those great things. How do I get to find my results? The 2558 number is working, Kisongochi. If you send your NAC stroke number to 2558, you should be able to get, or even your portal. If you go to your portal, Kisongochi, you'll be able to get your results. They are ready. They are ready. The only people who have issues a little bit are people who did the exams from Garissa. If you did your exams from Garissa for some reasons, the Garissa results were cancelled, almost all of them. But you have made an appeal. Yeah, Caro is asking, yeah, financial modeling, we normally combine them with BDA students. The only difference between BDA and financial modeling is in the last two topics, actually. Yeah, the last two topics, that is when we shall be able to separate you, Kitaka, but for now, everything you're doing is well within this BDA. All right. So that is it. No, Taylor, this is not to be uploaded. These are simple things that I want you to do, what you have to practice. To practice and practice. These are simple things. Maybe you've missed a class or something. FA, already we have begun. We have begun classes. From yesterday, we are teaching. BDA, does it have Power BI? No. We are only doing Power BI for the Excel students. BDA, for BDA, the Power BI is just theory bit of it. Yeah, the business intelligence, etc. But there is a question you guys haven't answered me. There's a question you guys haven't answered me. The question that you guys haven't answered is this question regarding whether these things that I'm teaching you, have you started using them at your workplace? Have you started scaring people with those shortcuts of Excel at your workplace? Oh, yes, great. I'm telling you, this will earn you a promotion. Yeah, start implementing them almost immediately, like from tomorrow. Like from tomorrow. As a treasurer, yes. As a treasurer, yes. They will not believe. I like that. They will not believe. Fear is gone. Fear is gone. Thank you so much. Please allow me to take a break. Of course, to also give you time to practice a little bit here and there. It has been a pleasure hosting you. See you, and even reports, yes. So see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm